Should be it.
Do we have a quorum then?
1, 2, 3.
Can't we do a simple, isn't it one of the ones who are here? With a simple majority? And not in the bylaws? To do that? 1, 2, 3, there's still 4 of us. Yeah. 4 of 6.
Neat. Okay.
Still have a quorum.
So it's still a quorum, okay, good.
So we are
Cause I
good.
think we need to vote on this.
Yeah, we do. I'm like, today is it. So, alright, so 4:31, I'm gonna call us to order. And we do have Janet Tobias here. Welcome, Janet. Yes. And so, today we are gonna talk about Arbor Day mostly. That's gonna be most of our time. So, and Janet, if you want to just officially kinda state why you're here and what you would like to do, and then you're welcome to sit for the rest of our meeting, or you're welcome to take off. But since you're here, if you wanna kinda share that
Okay,
with the,
so
no,
I'm
we
an
have the group.
interested citizen of Conway. I appreciate the tree board and I was interested in coming and seeing what's new and plans for Arbor Day, and also ask about some of the dead trees in the roundabouts. Is that come under your jurisdiction?
We have no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
We have the power to suggest.
We have no regulatory authority.
So
What
how would I let-
roundabout specifically?
Irby and Salem. They've got 4 trees there and 2 are dead for 2 years.
Did you say Irby and what?
Salem.
Salem, okay.
That's one of the newer
Roundabout
roundabouts
even been
too.
there that long?
That's one of the newer ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of us had died as soon as we planted it.
So I didn't know if I should report it to you guys or call the street. I didn't know what to do.
That would fall under probably
It's
transportation. Yeah, if you
Transportation?
report it
Okay.
to them for sure,
Oh, you're
yes.
gonna, you want me to report it?
Well, I mean, if you wanna go ahead,
I can do
I will
this.
also make a note and make sure that we communicate that, but, definitely reach out to them. And make sure that they're looking at that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And then also interest in St. Joe's potential.
St. Joe
partnership?
After School Care is a nonprofit that acquired a bigger place for the children, and they operate year-round. She's got over 100 kids after school, and in the summer 90.
Okay.
And so she wanted to bring in some trees, very highly interested, and wants the leaves, wants the kids to rake leaves, wants to make mulch. I mean, she's hitting all the high points of why she wants trees.
And so what I was sharing with Janet before meeting is that I'm about to roll off of the board, but looking into next year, looking at potential partnership, volunteer support, and then of course Krista has offered some advisement on tree selection and things like that. So I just wanted to make sure that we all had that kind of officially requested, and have given her some resources too to go back and look at some funding and things like that as well. So
Yes, thank you.
yes. And Janet goes way back, getting folks involved and collaborating on lots of projects, so.
Is St. Joe wanting help with funding to purchase the trees, care for the trees? Like, what are they wanting support in
So
specifically?
the director contacted me knowing I was a master gardener and was excited to say they got the extra land. And now she said I'd like it, she didn't know what, she didn't really even know there was a tree board, like an
Fair, yeah.
Okay, so I said, well, and she said, what, do the master garden, because she's been asking about a garden for a while.
Mhm.
Could I help her with a garden? Well, I'm thinking, I'm not gonna help you with a garden, then come May, all the kids are on vacation, and it's gonna die, because some of the school gardens are doing that, correct? So I just kind of said, well, then she's developed this summer program, and so she's there year-round. So she often asks, what can I help her with? So she doesn't know anything, and I'm basically attended this meeting to see some resources. Tracy and Krista have already given me some resources. So
Perfect.
exactly what she has in mind. The trees are for screening. She's right along the train track. So St. Joe, the old Boys and Girls Club.
Mm.
And the train track's right there. And then there's gonna be a recreational building there as well.
Oh, wonderful.
So, so screening, but also she just wants activity for the kids. I mean, just, I said, do you want trees that the leaves fall? She said, yeah, I want them to rake leaves, I want them to have mulch, I want them to play in the leaves, you know.
Grassy area currently?
She mentioned a grassy area, but I was very concerned that, you know, that many children, a grassy area, I don't know if that is even feasible, but.
Well, I was more thinking, if it's a grassy area in which you have mowing a lot, you probably don't want sweet gum trees, but if it's not something that needs to be mowed, sweet gum trees would grow quick and pretty easy and would be good. But tree species selection, I think, is probably too soon.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good to take a visit and see what she has interest in, and then obviously, and I'll send you flyers for Arbor Day too, maybe send her that, maybe she and even the kids can come out and visit for Arbor Day.
Arbor
We can
Day,
kind of
yeah.
see all the
Yeah, I already
different, just
told
for
her about
fun.
that.
Yeah.
And that's November
2nd.
Second, okay.
And then we'll definitely get that on the books and see, like I said, if she wants to come and speak with the board, or maybe not even that far along, we can have some conversations too.
So, you know, sometimes somebody has like a lot of balls in the air and they want help, but they don't even know what kind of help they need.
Absolutely.
So it's
Yeah.
just kind of, I'm taking the first step on her behalf, just
Yeah.
because I like to help organizations that are needing help.
That's right. Tell me, what's her name? I'm just curious.
Laura Williams.
Okay.
She's the
Just so we've
director
got that,
of
so
it.
we'll know.
And again, I want to differentiate after-school care
Yeah.
of St. Joe.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. I will get that noted and make sure she knows she can reach out, and of course she can keep doing that too, so, yeah, okay, awesome. All right, well now we are gonna move on to the order of the business today, which is Arbor Day, speaking of. So today I do just want to say that we have some absences today. We've got Scott and Josh that are not with us. We do still have a quorum, so we can do some voting, which is important for today. And then Ryan, of course, is at a conference and is not going to be here today with us as well. So first I want to make a motion to approve the minutes for the September meeting. Anyone have any questions, concerns about those? They were emailed to you.
Second.
Excellent. All in favor? Any questions?
Good.
We're good. All good. Okay. All right. Quick update on some financials for us. I did give you guys the ledger report that I received from Ann this week. We are showing, if you go to the far right corner, we're showing the 2092-27 available. There is an extra copy, Janet. I thought more people would come and grab those. You're welcome to follow along.
Those are the rest of the flyers for today.
So the funds for remaining for this year are 2092.27 on the ledger balance, but I do want to remind us that we do have 1,143.50 of that is already committed. That is for the $500 photo contest, the $500 installation materials for installation of the brick pavers at Laurel Park, the $100 for yoga at the event, and then we did have to buy some stickers for the banner that will go up in Laurel Park, and that was $43.50, so that comes to a total of $1143.50. So the actual, and I'm gonna pause. We did also receive another sponsorship from Native State, who's one of our new exhibitors at Arbor Day, and so we can add, I don't know that it's officially, it's not been recorded yet, but we do have that $250. So that leaves us with a balance of $911.23 available to spend for the remainder of year/Arbor Day. So
Wonderful.
yes. So just kind of put that in the back of your head. That is kind of where we stand with financials. Josh couldn't be here with us, so I'll talk about food donation and some cost and things like that that we may have this year.
So we don't get a detail of, I'm just curious, you know, we ordered trees.
Yes.
Do we know if those, if
So we
that
do-
money has actually come out?
Yes, so the
Because
20.
sometimes they don't take it out till they ship.
Right, and so part of what you'll see, we have this 857, I'm gonna pause. The trees for the fall tree giveaway was the 2,150, that already was in the last month budget, so those have been paid for already. You'll see there's $857.59 encumbered that shows on this ledger. That was for the spring trees that, thank y'all very quickly. Krista and Ryan worked to we voted the M&O funds available to spend for the spring tree giveaway, so we have 1,200 trees that were purchased last month. And so that's where you'll see that $857.59 encumbered still on the account. That's what that was for. So I did ask, Skylar, I know you requested to have games purchased
Yes.
for Arbor Day. That hadn't happened as of last Friday. Ryan committed to do that, but that will of course come out of the $500 that we had already allocated for the photo contest.
Okay,
So-
then, so that'll still leave us the 9.
So you just keep track, no, the 9/11 will still be available, so at the beginning of the year, we voted in the $500, so you just need to kind of keep track of where you are for
Yep.
photo contest. So I would take that, what was it, like 120 or something
It's
like that?
97.88.
97.88. So just know you've got all that remaining funds to
Gotcha.
do, okay. Any other questions about budget for that? Okay. And just, we don't always get a detailed report. I think we're, according to bylaws, it's like every 3 months, we should have that detailed report. But Ann quickly gives me a ledger in, each month, so I can keep as up to date as possible. So, all right. So today, Arbor Day discussions. I do actually, if we can pause, I want to jump down for 1 second to old business, just because, not old business, but down to, our urban, our forestry grant quickly, because I know we're gonna get in the thick of Arbor Day here and I don't want time to fly by on that. So, and Janet, I don't know if you know this, but we applied for a $250,000 grant for an urban forestry management plan, an environmental consultant to come in and help with that for the city of Conway. So just want to let y'all know that that was accepted through the first phase. We got notification that it's made it through the first review and we are actually in for consideration of this grant. They did share at that time that we will be notified by mid-October if we were a successful applicant. And then if everyone will put on your calendars that October 29th is a mandatory training for any successfully approved applicants for that grant. So I will of course be on that, but I would be in best interest that someone else who's going to be officially on the board. I don't know if that means 100% of the board has to attend or if we have to have representatives.
I think it's probably just those that were listed
Representatives.
as being like grant manager people on the
Yeah.
grant.
Okay. So it's a virtual training
I
and
do
it will
wish they'd
happen
tell us
October
like
29th.
what time. Holding the
didn't
whole
say.
day open.
I know. So mark your calendars. It probably would not be a bad idea to have someone else on that. But, so just so you know, yay, we've made it through phase 1. That's great. So now just positive thoughts for full funding is what we need now through the rest of the month. Okay.
I can probably attend that training.
Okay.
Would be helpful.
Yeah, it would, definitely.
Reminders would be helpful.
I will, as soon
Thank
as
you.
that first email, I think on that Friday, Thursday or Friday, Robbie passed along the good news on that, so I'm glad to hear we're that far already. All right, so sorry for that. We're gonna hop right back up to Arbor Day discussions. I did, for you all, I gave you also a printout of our little project planner that has just an overview of the event, some tasks that we need to do, exhibitors, budget, sponsor, and then on this back page, just kind of table and chair request, just I want to review, make sure we've got everything covered on that. So I do want to share so far that confirmations as far as the Arbor Day program, we do have confirmed that we have a scout group to come out and do the presentation of colors for us. We do have Marguerite Van, their Van Voices Choir, who will come out and do some singing for us. So it's going to be a pretty short program. Woody Cummins is going to come out and do the proclamation for us. And then the remainder will be, Krista will do some talking, we'll do a closeout, Skylar will announce the photo contest. So it'll be a pretty short program this year. I've not heard back from anyone else, but those are the confirmations that we do have so far. Let's see, then of course right after the program we'll have the drumming under the trees that will start for us, and that's just interactive music that's going to go on throughout the rest of the event. And if I can pause for a minute, The festival or the celebration does start 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., but we do have Go Inside Yoga, who's going to be doing a yoga session from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. while others are finishing setting up. So we will have a little bit of a pre-event going on.
Nice.
So, yeah. We did have the free tree giveaway. You want to talk about that for just a second?
Oh yeah,
That was
it's
Fast and
closed.
Furious?
It's done.
2 days.
It's not done. You still have to give the trees away.
Yes. We had all 100 trees reserved in 19 hours.
Yeah. Super fast.
I was not expecting that.
People have interest.
great.
I was in coding class and she was like, are you watching? I'm like, I can't send any more comments.
I
Anyway.
was looking at
Yeah.
previous giveaways, like,
Yeah, we didn't even
The
have them all
Google
reserved
Sheet,
last year,
and
and it was the same
it
amount of people.
took like
Or same amount of
3 to
trees.
4 weeks, and
Yeah.
so I was just like, okay, I'll keep an eye on it each evening. Like, won't be a big. No, that was an unexpectedly stressful day and a half, but fantastic.
Yeah, which is wonderful. And people love the 3-gallon potted trees. They're larger. Of course, it is more expensive. We did want to get more trees. So looking ahead to next year, how do you want to allocate? Do you want to do the same thing? Do you want to do more trees? That's just for consideration later, thinking about budget when you go into next year, because people seem to really, really, really like that.
Willow oak was the last trees to go by far. I don't think there was much of an interest for that species, and we had some comments that like, oh, we love all the different species. Ginkgos aren't native, and I was like, that's a really solid point. And so like it was a highly demanded tree, but I think in the future we should probably move away from just non-natives.
They're in the fossil record in North
I was
America.
gonna say, she went to
No, I know like they're
I
native
didn't respond
to
back to that.
They
our latitude. How long have they been?
Yeah.
so the problem is they went extinct
Yeah.
and all except for they were probably like pretty much worldwide at one point, and they went extinct everywhere but a small place in China, I think.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, they're a really ancient tree. They were around when the dinosaurs.
I mean, yeah, no, they are a living fossil. They are so
Yeah,
cool.
so but people were asking for them. That's why we put them in there, and they do well in urban environments. And honestly, I mean, I've seen lots of studies that's, I know we like to support natives, but there are some valid reasons to use non-natives, especially in urban settings, because nothing about an urban setting is natural.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like if you're gonna have honeybees anywhere, have it in the heart of a giant city in which you're not negatively impacting your native bees. Like, yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't know. I think it's okay to have a few non-natives available, and it's questionable if this is a non-native or not.
Right. Yeah. No, that's super neat. I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah.
So, awesome. So we'll call that a success. Now we just have to get it all organized and get them handed out. Good. Okay, so that was one event. We do also have our photo contest that's running the 1st through the 27th. We don't have any submissions yet. That is not unusual that we don't have, right? It was 90 degrees this week, right? We just posted it this
Starting to
week.
see some fall color out there. Just kind of today is when I noticed
It's finally getting cool and comfortable again.
I do
too.
want us to think about that.
90 on the weekend.
Why?
again.
Yeah. So Skylar, if you'll just have, let's keep marketing it, right? I did some initial you did posting, I did some initial posting. I did send in a Log Cabin Democrat press release. I did also reach out to Downtown Dollop to see if they can do some promotion of that for us as well. I have not yet, but by this weekend, I will go, before I leave this week, I will make sure I've emailed all of the school teachers who have participated previously, make sure that they know and are aware that that's going on as well. But that's something you'll want to keep your eye on for submissions and just make sure we're kind of promoting it and keeping the information out there. I did not think until just now, but the Faulkner County Library would probably also be a good place to reach out and.
Conway League of Artists?
Maybe the Conway League of Artists. So we might need to do a little bit of emailing to get some traction. It is not unusual that we don't have submissions in the first week, right? So, but that's something we'll want to continually push through marketing to make sure. So there is that, but the trees are terrific. I think that's some cool prizes. What's one of the prizes you're thinking about?
So the main thing we bought so far, I'm still waiting on a couple emails from like some other little restaurants and things around town. We haven't got anything back on those, so it may just be something we just have to flat out purchase. But me personally, I'm pretty big into like tabletop board games and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of nature themed ones. So we bought a game that everyone will get. It's called Photosynthesis. It's supposed to be a pretty fun little competitive like family game. It's basically you're a tree fighting for sunlight.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
I thought that was a good idea. Yeah. I think it comes down to it. I mean, we've got enough in your budget to still afford to purchase the canvases and do gift cards for, I think there's enough money in that. So, awesome.
What local restaurants are you reaching out to for?
I reached out to Mally's and I reached out to Stobie so far, and then I've just been pretty bogged down with just work.
That's fair.
So
Sister Blends and Think Coffee.
I've
Tend
worked
to
with
be,
Keith over at Think Coffee before. So
fairly integrated in the community, and I know that Sister Blends just got a new location, or a second location. It's I think their first brick and mortar front, because they were just a food truck.
over there in the Tin
But
Fitness parking lot.
So as a member of the community, and I want to jump into this contest, I'm assuming it's for students only?
no, anyone.
Anybody?
All
So
ages.
So where do I get, like, here I am sitting here, so where do I find it? Facebook?
Yeah, you can go on Facebook to
What else besides
Conway
Facebook?
Trees Facebook page.
What else besides Facebook?
That's about it.
Facebook, Instagram, and then I sent it to you to push out a constant contact. So we'll do an email notification about all things Arbor Day to all the folks who are in our database. You should be in there.
So I broke up with Facebook,
Yes.
Instagram, and everything else.
Yeah.
Like, they're dead to me, so.
Yeah.
I'm
So
It's
really-
hard for volunteer organizations to promote though any other way.
And I did put it in the log cabin, so there was a press release for that, and I had the link for people to get. Now, they won't do a graphic for us without paying for advertising. We can't afford that. We did promote it also. We did a commercial on Conway Court, the Here and Now. And Jeff shared that that's gonna run all month. And also, I believe they're gonna take snippets of that, and they have all the media graphics and everything. Of course, they'll share it on their social media too. So social media, and then
Okay,
You write down your email, we can send it to you via email. Because City of Conway page directs the different boards through their social media, and like they want us to have a Facebook.
Okay.
That is what we maintain.
okay.
But we can email it to you, so you'll also have the information.
we'll get it sent out to constant contact, all of our database people too. Because you're right, and we hear that every year. Is like, how do we get involved if we're not on social media? Email is it. We've put flyers out in some local businesses before, so we'll work to. I am out of town a lot this year, but if somebody else can help, I can print flyers. If somebody else can help get them out around the city, I can for sure get some to the library. That'd be a good place to have them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Okay, so we got photo contest going on, we had our tree giveaway, the other pre-events, the yoga right on site that day, and then that brings us right back to Arbor Day. So I have confirmation so far. I've got Interfaith Power and Light. We do have the Conway Department of Sanitation. Logan, you said Conway Corp will have a booth this year.
So as of Thursday, we had some people unexpectedly, they're not available, and so we're not sure when they will be available. So now we're not so sure if we can have a table.
Okay.
If anything changes between now and then, could we still have a table? Or do you need to get
Oh,
that
yeah.
space up to someone else?
You
No,
can let us know the
Yeah,
day
just
of.
let us know. Yeah, yeah, we'll just
Yeah,
make
'cause
sure
we
we've
can
got extra
shift,
table.
we can shift stuff.
Yeah, that's not a big deal at all. Thank you for that. The Master Naturalists are gonna be there. We do have the Green Bear Coalition from UCA who will be there. Who else? Native State is going to be there. Then we do have the STEM Institute who will be there also with their water table, which is really cool. And then I don't know if anyone else has confirmations to share.
All of mine are confirmed.
Okay, so
So
with-
beekeepers, forestry division, master gardeners, 4-H.
Excellent.
Master gardeners will need more than one table.
Yes, so
Let's give them 3 tables.
So, you said Master Gardeners needs 3?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about as beekeepers? I know they were pretty packed too.
Yeah,
They
let's
need
give
2
them
tables.
2. Let's give them 2.
I was trying to go through and remember who was pretty packed. Now, Interfaith Power and Light's gonna be floating throughout the event. They're not gonna take a space. They are going to be there, but they're not gonna need a physical space from us. Is Smokey Bear gonna be there?
Smokey has been asked to attend. He is not confirmed.
He is 80, so.
Yeah.
And mobile, okay, Master Gardeners, they're great. Who else? Let's see. Master Naturalist, do they need 2 tables or 1 table? I was just thinking, because I just saw Dan at,
I was
The
thinking they just
father.
used 1.
maybe just 1, okay. You know what I did see at the, when y'all had the open house, there was some wild foraging, there was a table there. And I don't know who put it on. I know they were anthropology students, but I don't know if they were attached with Master Gardeners or who they were with. But they were grinding corn, and then they also had like
Oh, that was at the
comfrey. It was-
museum.
Yeah, there was like some edible. It was an edible table, like things that you could forage. I don't know if you want to promote that, if things are sprayed with chemicals out in the public, or. But I thought that I was like, that's a really neat table to have too. So. Anyway, that was not, okay. 4-H is good with 1 table?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then, okay. Anything from fisheries and wildlife?
No, because I keep forgetting to talk to them. So it's getting added to the calendar now.
Sounds always-
Question about last semester's research project. One of those presenters, 100% absolutely is happy to present, bring the poster, she still has it. Would you want that with the STEM Institute water table?
Yes, because Olivia is also gonna be there, so.
Perfect.
Yeah, but but that will be separate from what fishery, because usually they do prescribed burn, so they will be doing water table, so that's, I wasn't
Do
sure.
they need 2 tables then, the STEM Institute?
Well, they actually have their own little table,
theirs
and
is
then we'll just
already
give them 1 more to do if they wanna put up their posters and talk about their research that they did for us.
Most of the current burn people aren't in FWS. And so burn, I need to reach out to them too. I will. That would be a separate table from fisheries.
Okay, I just know I had it listed as fisheries last year, so I just assumed to be the same thing. Anyway, it's up, if you can see if someone can come and do that, that'd be great, and if they cannot, I know that Olivia and Sarah, and I don't know who else from fisheries are already committed to do the water table.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so they'll be with STEM Institute.
Perfect.
Okay, so if you'll check on that for me, would be great.
Speaking on the water table,
Yeah.
we should be good for water that day.
Water's good, okay. And then he did say maybe electricity too, but Scott, I know he's not here today, said he'll bring his generator, so we do have a backup generator for any power that may need to be had.
The only thing that'll prevent us with water is if for some reason we get like a big freeze out of nowhere.
It's 90 right now, it's hard to imagine.
Just saying. That'll be the only thing.
also,
that
it's
hurts us.
It's also possible because this is Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said you're gonna bring the speaker system.
Okay, well, we'll go through,
And
I
it has a
gave you a
microphone?
big laundry list of things, so. UCA Geography, I've not heard back from them, I know their department's pretty understaffed right now, so, but I saw they have a meeting mid-October, so we might have them, we may not.
We lost Dr. Heh, and so I'm not sure.
And their geography club, they seniored out, so they're kind of starting over too,
Yeah.
so.
Do you know if the scout troop is bringing their own flag? Or do I need to bring a
I'll
flag?
probably bring our own flag, but they showed up with a flag last year too. I will
Did they?
double check that.
No, never mind.
I have had zero luck getting a Girl Scout troop for the tree planting. So we can just do.
It's just a community.
The feelers are still out there, but as of now, we don't. I just loved when they did their tree promise. That was delightful. I haven't got any hits from that, and I've hit a couple different leaders. And I know that it's posted, they can see it's out there, they just haven't had any takers on that. I do want to share, this may seem kind of strange, but the tree planting, we also, I've spoken with Spencer, so we've gotten approval from Conway Corp and Parks to move forward with the memorial brick installation. I did meet with Spencer and the physical plant folks, and they have gone out and sprayed the location and have reached out to Public Works to come. They're going to do their very best to have it in by November 2nd. I have not gotten an absolute confirmation on when that is, but that would be something that we could incorporate into the day too. It's just a small little dedication to that. And just for context, the trees that were removed from Prince Street for years ago from the memorial tree plantings, there wasn't irrigation there to support that. The city went back, put in irrigation, put in new trees that are all the same, and so part of the agreement is that when the trees came out, only the dead and dying trees were removed. All the others will remain until their mortality comes as trees. But we did go ahead and get brick pavers made and engraved with everyone's name who had a tree, and so they're going to do a memorial brick installation in the tree grove in Laurel Park. So it looks like we will.
So are those bricks already engraved?
They already are. So we have 25 bricks. That's why I was like, tell me how many bricks are there. So now the next step is to take the list to Spencer and make sure we have them all accounted for. There are only 25 pavers that are engraved. Those were the trees that were initially dedicated to someone, and so we already have those engraved. We have a header that talks about the tree board and what the whole installation is about, but we did purchase at the time, there are 120 bricks that will be installed. So we did spray out a 15 by 15 square space there, and the agreement was that they would go ahead and put blanks in because it's easier to make the whole space, and then as y'all move forward, if you want to continue to do sell memorial bricks, because the funds go to help purchase trees. And so if y'all want to move forward with that, the blanks are there so that if you sell a brick, they can remove one and put another in. Now, we wouldn't do it one for one, but maybe once a year, or once you have enough accumulated, you could do an annual installation or something like that. So just know that, yeah, so it'd be great, we just
that way you can recognize those people.
Yeah. So, and just so y'all know, anytime someone reaches out and says, hey, we would like to plant a tree, my response is we no longer do tree plantings, but we do brick installations that help fund tree groves. What we found is it's not sustainable to do a one-for-one tree program because we're not really set up to maintain that. And it's sad to plant a tree and then watch it die when it was dedicated to someone. So anyway, so the brick program is what we had done. We started with, and then we were shut down because of all the projects that were going on. So it's just kind of in limbo, and more to come on that. We'll talk about that on transfer of responsibilities and programs you might want to go forward with next year. But just know that that is in motion, and fingers crossed that will all happen by November 2nd. If not, it will happen by the end of the year. I'm just trying to wrap up all the loose ends of things we've got hanging out there. So, but they're going to do their best to get it done. But they are busy, hardworking folks at our physical plant. So, okay. So let's see. Any other? I did reach out to the Game and Fish Commission to see if we could get them out, but their educator is going to be out of town and can't be available, so we will not have them there.
I think it's youth hunt. It's always youth hunt.
Probably multiple people. Yeah, we're always battling with that. So, but that's all right. We'll still have a great event. I did send the participation form to the volunteers. I think I copied you on the email for the ladies who wanted to volunteer and help with the free tree giveaway. I've not heard back from her, but that was just last week. And I will go ahead and put out to Give Pulse. I'm sure we'll need a few volunteers for setup and just floating around for the day. I'm sure you usually come with a big group of volunteers. Are we planning on the same this year? Guess I should pause.
I have no idea how many will show up, but they will show up.
They always show up strong. Yeah. We're a mighty force group. I'm pointing at master gardeners right now.
Yeah.
Yes. So there, and I will, like I did last year, I'll put it on Give Pulse at UCA and try to
Of
get
course,
some
if the
student-
weather is crummy, then they won't show up.
Okay. So I'll
But
do
then
that.
probably people won't show up too.
I will get that put out there too. And then Peach Jar, which is the distribution flyer for the Conway School District. They've changed some of their protocols, so I started with Peach Jar last week and then shut it down quickly. So I will get that, I'll get back to that and try to get that flyer submitted before I leave at the end of the week. So we've got communication going out to the schools. So I'll do some one-off emails to our art teachers, and then we'll do a distribution through Peach Jar. But if y'all can all just do a favor and please share the information broadly, widely, tell folks who you know so we can get people to come to our event. It would be very helpful. All right, let's see. So moving on down the list, I don't know, Sam, I'd asked you to kind of think about if you have any printing cost needs for the tree giveaway, so I don't know if you have any needs for that. Okay. And then I think mostly the print needs that we'll have, we got the banner stickers. I really can't think of anything else that we have for that. For food this year, I'm waiting on a clarification email, and Josh isn't here today, but he is with the understanding that First Security is only donating the hot dogs and the buns this year, not the condiments or the chips. And he didn't have much luck getting sponsors for water, things like that, so there could be some additional costs for food this year that we don't typically have.
I reached out to Charles with the Taylor Concessions.
Okay.
He has a tournament on that weekend, so
I know y'all extended this year, didn't you?
I
This
guess. So he said that it's just in a weird spot for him.
Yeah.
He didn't say no,
Right.
but I told him that I would get with him the week of, and we just kind of play that by ear.
Sure.
So I mean, because a tournament could not make or anything like that. So
Right.
Sadly, we'll know more about that whenever we need to make a decision, but
Right.
I think if we just have something allocated for that as a emergency fund will be good, but then hopefully we won't have to use that, if that makes sense.
And so that's, and when I realized Josh wasn't gonna be here today too, and we hadn't made some progress, I did reach out to some other folks too to see if a last minute sponsorship can get that, so, but he did send me some quotes. And so thinking about our budget of 9/11, if we have to incur food cost, looks like chips would be about $112, sodas would be about $106, water $15, condiments about $50, and then each year we have to buy like foil, like food wrappers, paper towels, a little scrubber brush, which that would be no more than $50. So we could have an expense of up to $333 for additional foods if we don't get sponsors. That's a big chunk out of that budget that we wanted to put towards some merchandise and giveaway items. We do have the funds, we can do that. So if we had to do food, that would be $333, which will leave us $578 balance to do merchandise, to give away, t-shirts, promos. I don't know if you've gotten any quotes for that.
I know that we didn't seem very big on the shirts idea, so I reached out to Natalie to figure out who did y'all's. I was really trying to get the artwork, whoever did the artwork for the bandanas. And right now, Randy's Athletics is good to match what our quote was years ago for the bandanas, so that'd still be around $5 plus tax. So you're looking at it something about 21.5 by 21.5, so I'm not sure if that was bigger or smaller than what you got last time. The only thing he said was that off-white color y'all did last time is really low in stock color-wise. He said that black, red, navy, and royal all look really good. So he said that he's pretty sure that he can do that, but he said before I quote him on that, he's like, I just need to know the exact spec of what size and what fabric.
Now, how large can he go? Because I know Rock City was bound by like a 13-inch square, like normal silk screening.
That I'm not 100% sure, because I asked him, I was like, I said, do you know this roughly the size of the bandana? He said roughly it'd be 21.5 by 21.5.
Yeah.
It's big.
And
So-
and they are big, and that's why I think the last time, I thought we did like a 18 or 19 inch on the last run, because their print can only go so big.
He didn't say anything about how big it can go. I don't know if it can go border to border or
Okay.
what. But because I had Natalie send me the email that we used from them in 2022, that said it was like $5 for a quantity of like 72 of them. I told him that last year we ordered 72, so I mean if we need to order more or something like
Is that
that,
$5 a piece?
yeah, which is what Rock City did in 2022. So I don't know how much that would cost now, but he was good to match what that price was then.
Now, I'm curious, because you see it, we just got a quote from someone on some soft Gildan t-shirts, and we got them for like $6.82, I think was our final cost on that. So I don't know if if we could get a t-shirt for $6.82 versus a bandana for $5. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. So we could at least cover our volunteers and have a few to give away. Would be good. Did you get quotes at all on t-shirts?
No, but I mean, it wouldn't be very hard. The biggest thing is gonna be, what kind of shirt you want. Cause I mean, that can range from like, do you want just like the crappy beefy tees? Or you wanting like comfort colors, which seem to be like the more popular ones?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I don't know, typically though, you're looking at anywhere between, it used to be $5. I'd imagine it's anywhere between $6 or $7 for a single print, one location shirt.
That's what we just
So-
did we did one screen, one color
Yeah.
print. We only did the front, we didn't do front and back. And
Yeah.
it was Gildan soft style. It's those purple, those new little Tinkerfest tees that everybody's been wearing. I don't know if you've seen them, but they actually were not bad.
I can't imagine it
T-shirt.
being much different
Yeah.
for him.
So we don't put those sponsors on the back?
That's why we would have to put sponsors. And I think about that, like, do we
So
want,
sponsors on the back
so
and
to
something
design
on
on the front?
And so I'd
Sponsors
probably
on the
bump
back.
it up towards like $7.50.
I don't know.
Good, because you have to make a graphic. You have to
And
make,
that's the thing, we don't have a graphic.
because like whatever you do for the front will be pretty easy, but it's gonna be
Yeah.
one color. But then you have to go and make another whole graphic for like the entire back. So you'd have to get all of your sponsors on one thing and then do that as its own graphics. That way you can just print that whole thing on there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to do a PC party thing where you're like, all right, let me just do all the Conway Corp logos, then go and do another.
No,
No,
that's easy. We
100%.
have all the sponsor logos.
Yeah,
there, so
and
just to get that together would
I could do
be-
that in Canva
Yeah.
pretty easily
Yeah.
and
So yeah,
just
I mean, if you're
do.
wanting to for sure do a front and back, I can ask him.
I'm just curious, well, I felt like last time we were here, bandanas got shot down, but no, I could be,
I
I
don't
thought the
want,
shirts is what got shut
I
down.
just wanna say I have 2 bandanas from this tree board. I wear it all summer. I made,
I use mine like crazy.
It's funny because some people are like, I love them, and other people are like, I would
I've never
wear
used
them.
them.
because you
Yeah.
put them under a hat when you're gardening and
Yeah.
just and then you put it
Yeah.
around your
I
neck.
use my
I
neck
mean,
and I wrist, I use mine quite a bit.
So
There was a
hiking,
mixed
it's
bag last
enough,
time.
yeah, or-
That.
The only other downside with
Yeah.
shirts is you're gonna have to figure out what size you want to order.
Exactly.
That's the hardest thing about shirts, is the size distribution.
What were the color options again for bandanas?
I mean, I'm sure there's more, but I asked him which ones looked good stock wise. He said black, red, navy, and then royal.
Kinda like navy.
Royal as in
Navy with
royal
white.
blue?
Royal, yeah.
Like
So
our
if you ever,
shirt.
I wish if I was wearing a Conway Park shirt, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like an
It's
actual
like our tree
regular
board.
blue.
It's like this.
Yes, that is gonna be a royal blue.
I mean, I would personally vote red or a blue, one of the blues. Black to me sounds atrocious from I typically wear a bandana to keep the sun off of me, and so I wouldn't want a black one that's gonna make me way hotter.
We'll hide dirt though.
And it actually blocks the sun more than a light
Than
color.
a light color, yeah.
It would, but it would also hold more heat,
Soaks it up.
which is,
Well, this is a perfect time to ask our community citizen what colors they like, and we can get an input
Well,
there.
I-
As someone who
Look at
has
what she's
2 of
wearing,
them.
she's got blue.
So 80% of the world are blue folks, I will say, from color studies.
Everybody
That's
looks good in
usually-
blue,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blues. Although the one I have is beige, You know, it's a
Yeah,
creamy
green.
color
Okay.
with the
Yes.
green, because it's tree board, kind of, so.
And that is what I
That's what I'm like,
originally asked
red,
for.
I'm like, ugh, red, but I have a
I
whole thing with
like
red.
the red.
I see, I'm not fond of red.
I'm not either.
From
Love
a
trees.
contrasting with the green print, and a lot of people don't have much red, and so it's
Yeah.
like a different pop of color. It's easy to find.
Probably go navy.
See, I
and
would
white.
do navy with white print.
Mhm,
Navy with white.
yeah, here's navy with white.
It's
Sounds
just
great.
easy.
Mhm. And it looks good on everybody, really.
So, are you proposing we go with the original design that's already there? Do we wanna do
If you
a logo,
have,
or do
if
you
you
wanna do?
have that, it'd be super easy, we can do that.
Is that what y'all wanna do? I mean,
Easy
that's
sounds
up to y'all.
great.
If
Okay.
you-
It
Just in
should
case, I don't
be
know
in the
if you've
drive.
seen
I think
this.
that- I'll have to look.
Let me see here. So, where's it now? This is
And
the
then-
email
I
thing.
wish we could get them cheaper.
I was gonna say, it's
It's wild to me how close in price that.
To a
to a
t-shirt.
t-shirt, I know.
I mean, it's a flat piece of fabric.
But I mean,
Makes
like,
sure it's
essentially-
pinned on all the sides.
And I don't, there are smaller bandana, there are like 18-inch, 18, 19, and
So this
then
is what they
21
used-
was
this is
the
what they used
first
last
go
time.
around, and they were really big, which is nice to tie around.
And that's what she was meaning by like, this is how big the actual bandana is, but this is how small the print was that was on it.
Yes. Okay, that
And
makes
that's why,
sense.
cause he was bound by a certain price size that they had. So, could we get our sponsors on a bandana? We need to find out if Randy can go large, what size press he has, to how large he can go. And then if y'all wanna do the same design, I will find that, it should be in the drop, we can get that printed
That's
up.
a nice design.
Thanks. Let's see, alright.
Yeah, if you have it on the drive, that'll be fine, but if you made it on like Canva, there's a way that you can share it. Because if you share it there,
It's
I
higher
think
quality.
Rock City finalized all that for us, so his mock-up would have come from him.
so getting it, unless we
Cause
just have
it started
someone
on a
else.
piece of paper with pen.
I actually have, I have those now. They sent me
That's
those.
how I was like, in here, can you do this for us, cause that's how I roll. But-
Yeah, so if we're gonna add stuff to that, like getting sponsor logos on there, then it would just be basically a whole new design that has to be made up.
Or does someone want to make a design? I
I
am
think
not
we just use that
person.
old design and it's not like date or activity specific, right? It's just tree board.
Yes.
That's fair. Yeah, I get what you're saying with that. It doesn't say
Right,
2024 Arbor Day, so we don't necessarily need to have 2024 Arbor Days
It
sponsors.
just says Conway
on it.
trees, plant, preserve, protect, and then that's it.
yep, okay, alright. So I will try to find that for you. And then, so $5, so how many are you wanting, you propose we get on that? The other thing that people really liked were those little fans that we got. I don't know if you wanna think about something like that. Or
Which
if you just
fans?
want to do it.
Are they
bandanas
they're the frisbee things, which Forestry Division might bring those with Smoky.
Okay, we don't
Because they
know for
have.
sure.
Those are fans? I thought they were just
They could be
frisbees.
either.
Mm-mm.
I had no idea. I thought they were just frisbees, and I'm like,
I think last year they didn't bring them though. I think they might have had those plastic other frisbees, but.
And then we do, you can't, like the UCA fans like that have like a plastic clip on it. And
Okay.
it folds inside the clips. There are a couple of those, but they were not very expensive.
I enjoy a tote bag, which you would.
Yeah, this and Natalie's mom, these are really neat too, and I can't remember the cost on that, but Natalie's mom did that for us.
There are also
for-
those like tote bags that are made out of like a nylon that
That
get
fold
really
out.
small.
yes,
Those
I
are
have
really
neat. We did
very
have
few
those.
of those, and they're fabulous, and I love
We use them
those.
all the time.
Well, if we put an order in at 72, you're looking at like $360 and then whatever tax is on that.
Mhm.
And so even minusing that from the 578 that we would have available after subtracting food costs, that'd leave you roughly $200-ish
Mhm.
if we wanted to do another line item of merch.
So I think we could just vote, the remainder of the funds go to,
To
if somebody
Arbor Day.
wants to make a motion, or I can make a
Motion for
motion to.
Second.
utilize the.
all of the remaining
Our
funds.
annual vote to use all the funds, leave nothing on the table.
Yes.
So, okay.
This is a nonprofit.
I'm gonna, I think we should primarily do bandanas, they sound super useful. And
But we can't
second-
afford 2 lots is the problem, right? Cause
Well,
they're
no.
always in 72 quantities.
I have no idea. He didn't mention anything about that. I just know that's what we did,
That's
so
what we did
that was
before.
what I
We
would
were
go
capped
with.
out at a.
I mean, I'm assuming
So
that
you
we
could
could order,
ask
we could order
him
50 of them if you wanna go lower.
There's the,
If you
well,
wanna go
actually I
more.
was wondering about
We do
going
more.
higher, like using all the rest of the money.
One, because
I
we
was
have some
thinking-
volunteer, hopefully we'll do some tree planting possibly before the.
Yeah, if
end
there's
of the
any
year.
left over, yeah, other
And
volunteer
we used them for
events.
volunteer.
Cause you were saying there was 220 remaining roughly.
Yeah.
Tote bag would be pretty neat.
I mean, I can ask him,
Get some of
even if we
those.
just did those for like just the members.
Volunteers,
That would
something
be
like
my-
that.
Especially the nylon scrunch up into a little,
You're great for traveling.
Y'all
love
definitely
them
have to send me
so
some links on
much.
what you're talking about. I obviously don't carry out
Yeah.
tote bags.
this is
So-
fair, we
so-
will,
And it's, this
show
is
you
all
the way.
time
We'll order
sensitive.
whatever, but you just
And
kinda,
it's all time sensitive, so like we are on the 8th day.
if you know exactly what you want and Tommy can get it, I have put that man in some real binds before, and so, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
I
what
mean,
vendor are you said Tommy?
yeah, so the gentleman's name, the guy who owns it is Tommy Hewitt, but the company is called Randy's.
He's
Thank
talking about local print shop.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
he
guess
won't
we'd use
have
the
that.
same bandana
So
design
does he have a
on a tote
vendor for
bag.
certain things? Like if we requested through him bags, would he not have a vendor?
The only thing he has told me no on so far is I asked him about if he knew how to get custom gardening gloves, and he was like, I don't know anybody who does that.
No.
He's
The
like,
Rock
even if I knew
City-
someone else that knew how to do it, I would just send you over there, cause he's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I wanna mess with that.
That
Well,
sounds
we'll
hard
tell
to
y'all,
print, yeah.
Rock City, Ryan did get back to us and he will be able to do that because in the fruit tree grant, I did write in for some planting gloves as part of that grant in the initial request. That was just for the volunteers who participate in that particular event, but I know that he sought it out, searched it, is gonna be able to do that, so.
Does he know how much those run? 'Cause
I would
then-
have to go back and look at that.
So we could potentially just
We could do
look at
gloves
ordering those.
instead of, I can't do that and think and talk at the same time
That's
right
all good.
now, but I
That's a
promise I will.
tomorrow, that's a tomorrow problem.
That is not my
What's the
strength,
name
my
of the
strong
company
suit.
again?
It's Randy's Athletics.
Yeah,
Athletics, thank you.
It's over there, by, the
Yeah.
KFC, Dairy
Randy's
Queen, all that.
printing took me to San Diego, California, and I was very bamboozled.
so, okay, so thank you for that, and y'all all want to move forward with bandanas, great, so if you wanna see how much you would charge, let's say get 100,
Okay,
72 or 100.
Navy
let's just
with
see.
white print.
Navy with white print, very traditional.
Yeah.
And
let's
that
go
fits
to
with
that.
Conway Wampus Cats et al.
Well, she
I'm
does a lot of the
currently
Wampus Cat stuff,
looking
so.
through their Facebook to see if they have
I mean, he does stuff for
Yes.
the
teachers, St.
bag
Joe's,
scrunchy thingy.
all that kind of stuff.
And it's Wampus Cats.
I mean, I don't know if Ryan wants to match that $5 again, but I mean, I don't know. You've already talked to him about that, so we can stick with him on that one, and then I'll reach out to,
Yeah, I mean, I don't care who we use, I'm not, especially for the tree board, I mean, obviously for the parks, I have a relationship there, just cause that's what we use for the parks department, but I
Yeah.
mean, as far as the tree board goes, I don't care who prints it.
Okay.
But when it comes to people that I know, I'll go with those first, just cause I already know them. And
Right.
I'm texting him right now, trying to figure out if he knows, what the size printing is.
Okay, that'll work. All right, I'm good with all that. Let's see, what else were we talking about as far as budgets? We talked about potential food cost, and then, we'll have to just table that, but now that we have the funds available, we'll be able to make that decision, but that needs to happen. I will.
I assume we would, like, if we need food, we would just buy it locally the week of.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have to talk
I'll just go Sam's Club.
to, well,
Yeah,
it's,
but
they have to buy it.
But they could place an online
An
order.
online
and
order,
pick it
so we
up
just
or
have to
something.
probably send them a shopping cart of
Yeah, we
that.
would just need to know by Friday. Cause like I said, I mean, I don't know how that tournament stuff's gonna pan out for November. I don't know if we've
That's
ever had
fine.
some that late,
That's- Yeah,
so.
that's fine. Okay, so, okay,
Water though, I bet we could find water. I don't think that'd be that hard.
sometimes like insurance companies and places that are like financial management places will
I just
donate
wanna
water.
I know we're all busy, but I am not going to have the time to do all of that this year,
Yeah.
which I've typically done. So it's like, I've done some initial work and I'll be able, but I am out of.
Soliciting
I can't be
emails.
very flexible so if you're committing to something, we gotta see it through because, time is short and, I will support in any way that I can. I'm just not as available this year. I mean, all the way up to November 1st, the night before, I will be with my family. It is senior night. I am committed
That's
to my
wonderful.
child this year, so.
As you should be.
Yes. Not that I've not always been committed, but I am locked down this year.
I'll email Ryan tomorrow
So-
and figure out what the deadline is of how late we can put in an order. So like if he tells us like, hey, we have to have it in by Monday,
Yes.
if we want it on Saturday, I'll figure that out.
Now, I did take off that full day, so I'll have, kind of the morning time if I need to gather some things and do all that, but anyway.
Oh, hey, I'm in a city car, dude. If we gotta pick it up on a Friday, it ain't even gonna cost me gas. I'm gonna pick up whatever.
Which that does, so I know, cause now we're at 5:30, so is there any other like budget or thinking about ordering kind of things we need to talk about before we move on to parks? Cause I sent you a laundry list of questions as usual for parks
That'll
and
be the
rec.
quickest conversation. Parks is good with everything. The only thing that he's asked, is giving him a specific on, so like right now, your sheet here shows 22 tables, 44 chairs.
Yep,
I know
yep,
we've kind of went through and scratched off some and added some, so if that number sounds good, we're good with that. And then he just wants to know, to send him what date and time he's supposed to pick up trees.
Okay, so, and I guess I was gonna kind of put that back to you, cause Donna did reach out. I think last year, didn't they go on a Friday so they could stay on the trailer overnight and then get them to the park the next day?
Yeah,
Is that
cause
how we did
we
it?
need them in a secure location overnight.
Yeah, I mean, they can stay on a trailer.
I think that's what they did, like, wasn't that right? So I think they went maybe on that Friday, held them at parks somewhere. And then the trailer came back with like the grill, the cooler,
Yep.
ice trees, like.
And
I know we
and I
for
think
sure
they're
got two
prepared to
coolers.
dig the hole. Also, Parks is also gonna dig the hole for the big tree.
Yeah, for the planting, yeah.
Yeah, which y'all are wonderful.
Yeah, so we should be fine there. Cause we talked about that, if it rained or something, I guess they were just not gonna dig it, and they would come back and dig it
Yeah,
up.
we'll just
if
play
was
it by
gonna be
ear on
raining,
that.
so-
Like, right now it is bone dry,
But
like,
no, he hasn't,
It is
he's got a copy of this on his desk,
perfect.
so he didn't see anything. And then I told him, I was like, this is pretty much the same list that we've been doing for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And so,
actually minus the bleachers,
I
it's a
know, I was
little
gonna say, the
less.
bleach, I don't think we need the bleachers. No.
It's just something.
And I think I just 6 chairs for round drumming and then True brings his blankets and they'll do
It
their
collapses
thing.
into itself, you pull the drawstring and then it just takes up that
Yeah.
tiny bit of space.
So I'll let Donna know they'll be there.
And then you can text that to me.
So November 1 on Friday, you think is good for Bemis pickup? They'll be good for Friday pickup?
Yeah, just whatever time that they need, if they need to pick them up Thursday or whatever. I mean,
Okay.
that didn't seem like that was gonna be a big deal, just as soon as we know that, the better.
Yeah.
And then, I was talking with him, about possibly even having some extra staff members out there on that Saturday. Cause once again, I know there's gonna be a tournament, so some of our staff will be located for that, but I think every year they've had at least 2 or 3 people.
Which is more than, I
So-
think they kind of.
And sanitation brings trash cans.
So they did,
and-
well, emailed Mason, so they confirmed there, and I did ask him for recycling bins and trash cans. I've not gotten back an official, but I know we'll get those. And I felt like we had way too many last year, so I only asked for 3 and 3 this year. Because people wound up using the ones right, there were some already at parks, last year too. By the pavilion, there were some,
Yeah, there should be
already some trash cans
there.
out there. So I felt like it was a little bit overkill last year. And then, yeah, so great, that's good. What else? Anything else? I think just everybody just keep spreading the word, marketing, and get emails out would be great. Push the photo contest.
Yep.
And Kristen and I will get organized on what we're gonna say this year, a little bit. And then I'll let y'all know, I'll confirm when we hear back from physical plant about whether or not they can get the installation done for us, so, yeah. Anything else I'm missing? Any other thoughts? Okay. And then hopefully we won't have to have food costs and we can buy more stuff. Oh, I was gonna ask you, so after, I don't know if you still have all the things from the setup from the Cali
Yes.
table, did we have buttons and sticker, how are we on those? We still have quite a few buttons and stickers and things
We have
like
a good
that.
chunk. I think I have most of I have most of that in my car.
Okay,
The only thing I don't have in my car is the bamboo.
okay. Well, I
Yeah.
can take, if you want, I'll take it and I'll look, but I'm sure we have more than enough. There were quite a few buttons, I think,
Yeah.
and
And for
stickers.
sure,
Stickers
for
are
sure got
popular.
stickers.
And that's, I don't know how many stickers we have, but that's, like, if we do have any money left over, stickers are a good way to use it.
We should for sure have stickers. Buttons, I don't know if we had a whole lot,
Okay,
but it also depends on what you define as a whole lot. We definitely have way more stickers than buttons.
yeah.
I can tell you that.
Well, they usually go fast, but I mean, I think last year we had about 250 people. Or we don't have an official count, but it was about 250 people. So I mean, that's, and this year I think we've got food for 300, so it would count on about 250 to 300 people to be there.
Gotcha.
So not every single person's gonna want one, so I think we probably have enough. But I'll take those home in inventory and I'll let you know if we think we need to order any more of those. And that's a pretty fast turnaround on those too. Yeah, and then I'll total this up. One thing we needed were a few more tables last year for eating. And then the setup around food, so I've kind of reconfigured that, so we'll get some numbers together
Okay.
on that.
Is that what the 5 tables are right there? Right, you're,
Yes, because we needed some to kind of cordon off the area behind the grill so they could do food prep. And then popcorn, we only had 1 table and we could have used 2, because they needed 1 for working in the machine and then another for people, for extra popcorn bags and things like that.
do you see you adding any more tables to this list?
No, I think if geography comes, we would need theirs.
They have one listed here, so.
Oh,
I
I'm
said
not
your
sure.
your total altogether, or well, wait, never mind.
I just did a new one today. I don't know what you're looking. Oh, was that last year's?
So
It's probably gonna be
we'll
about
do
the same thing.
25.
Yeah. So
Do
I'll put 2,
25
3,
too.
4, 5, 6, 7.
I'd rather have more than not enough. We'll do 25 and 50, and that way they can go ahead and start getting all those
Okay.
accounted for, because I'm sure we'll have to pull those from a couple locations, but I don't think
Yeah.
that'll be an issue.
And then if we're short, we can, pull from the popcorn table or something like that. Because we do have those picnic tables there, but people really enjoyed eating inside the pavilion too. But we had some things staged on it, so I was thinking if we can clear that off and they
Let
can
people
eat in
use
the
those for
pavilion.
eating.
Yeah, because if it's good, it might be hot. You know,
Yeah.
who knows? It could be 85 degrees or 50. We don't know. Anyway.
Do you guys do any signs within the community about Arbor Day? Just like, remember EcoFest used
Oh
to
yeah.
put signage out, or whatever. Do you guys ever do that?
So no, we used to, but we've
You're
been
not
told they're
supposed to.
illegal.
Yeah.
So they're
City
illegal.
Conway no longer
So we're not
permits it.
supposed to do that as a city board. So no, we will not, but we will have banners. We have banners that we'll put at the park and they'll go 2 weeks out. And then if you found you said you found another banner?
Yeah,
Cause there used to be another one down by Conway. I remember they would put it out maybe in front of like First Security Bank or something like that years ago. I thought Arbor Day, there was another banner somewhere on another side of town.
I'll text it.
So
to
look
you
at it,
tomorrow.
if it's relevant, then we could maybe
Still
reach
says the
out
exact
to.
same stuff. It just has a blank space, that just says the first Saturday of the month. Or of November.
We can put that somewhere, we need to find a
Brilliant.
spot where we can put that.
And this might have been like 2 or 3. They were cleaning out a bunch of stuff at Lake Beaver Fort.
Oh,
And they found
wow.
a ton of stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, the banner, if it was used one time, like I would be honestly surprised. It doesn't even look dirty.
Wow.
It's just folded up.
Yay,
That's the only
pretty
downside.
found
Is that-
banner.
Well, I know Hendrix, like over by Hendrix at Hendrix
I was gonna say, that's
Village.
where we've put them for some.
We did that for the tree climbing competition, but I
Okay.
bet they would let us put that over there, so. What are y'all's thoughts? I could reach out to either Hendrix Village, put it over there, or we can reach out to, is it First Security Bank? Over there, kind of where Conway Commons is.
I mean, either one of those.
Okay.
Because I mean, both of those get a ton of traffic. So
Yeah.
whichever one's cool with letting you do it.
Well, I think Hendrix might be easier because those posts are up all the time. We don't have to get a post hole digger and
Oh, yeah, they're good
get
with
those
that.
out because the ground is rock hard. So it'd be nice if we could just use something that people just go and tie them up and then take them down and they leave their post there. So it might be easier. So I'll reach out to Hendrix and see if we can put that over there. Okay. Anything else? All right, do want to remind everyone that we do also have open board positions, 3 open board positions. And open enrollment is the 1st through the 31st. I'm saying this for the people out on YouTube, and I'm also saying it for us to please share, because y'all are gonna be lean starting off the beginning of next year. So we wanna make sure we get some good recruits in. So spread the word, share that. Janet, if you know anyone who may be interested, you're wonderful at recruiting people. She is how I made it all the way to here, eventually via some other nonprofit work. It all goes 6 degrees of Janet to bias. So anyway, so recruit. Let's get some board members in. And if we don't have anything else, we'll make, the fruit tree grant.
We're
Anything to
gonna have
say about that? We're gonna,
yeah, we just need to figure out the details.
Yeah. so we'll table that for the November discussion. I do wanna remind us, we have Arbor Day the weekend of the 2nd, and then we do have that meeting on the Monday.
Immediately after.
Which would be great for hindsighting and then kind of what's next for the end of the year and prepare for it, because we will not have a December meeting. So that'll be our last meeting of the year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then the grant that we're doing, that is to get like our actual like, what am I
The
looking for?
forestry
Management
plan.
plan.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I've been reaching out to a couple other tree boards and I've gotten a lot of them to send me theirs. So,
Their management plans, awesome, very good,
so
yes,
that way we at least can compare.
that's great.
But I've just been reaching out to them to see if there's other things that they're doing. Cause I mean, you just start Googling.
So other ones in Arkansas?
No,
Oh, okay.
they're just everywhere.
Yeah,
I
'cause
just been emailing anybody.
I'm not
and
sure
everybody.
there's a single community in Arkansas that has a tree management.
Yeah.
Whenever you
We
Google it,
would
only
at
Maw
first.
Mills and North Little Rock show up. North Little Rock, Maw
Actually,
Mill, and
Maumelle does
Batesville.
have one.
Yeah.
Batesville, those are the
Fayetteville
3
has
cities
it.
that like you don't have to like struggle. You just type in city tree boards and just start going through Google. Those are the only, besides us, those are the only 3 Arkansas cities that popped up. And then it was just a bunch of like 10,000 people, towns and stuff like that. But they all had the same thing. And it looks like a lot of them still will turn in like a list of like approved trees that are supposed to be planted and all that kind of stuff, so.
And one thing I'd like to see, like next year, we had talked about, you know, what will it take for the city to, can we advise against planting during the summer, to your point, the roundabout, the trees are dead, it's not even been there 2 years. We've got up Markham Square planting, or Markham Street, they put in trees that immediately died. We planted a big beautiful tree in 5th Avenue in June because the funds were available, but you don't really want to plant in June. So, you know, something to put in the back of y'all's minds is, can we get some kind of, I don't know, ordinance or
Well, I think
resolution
it
or
would be
plan?
easy to incorporate that sort of thing into the management plan. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, best management
It's
practices.
not to plant in summer or
and-
the drought, yeah.
And I think the idea is that that management plan will become, you know, official document of the city, and so, you know, would guide city department
Yeah.
practices.
And that'll be part, so y'all just full funding, because if we get full funding, then
We
we
want
have
full
full
funding, not
operational
partial.
review. Yeah, lots of good recommendations. Get a good environmental consultant, community meetings, stakeholder meetings, like, it could be really good stuff, so.
It'll keep us busy though.
Keeps very busy.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. That's why I started looking at it, because like the whole objection or the whole reason why the tree board exists still hasn't even been completed.
Yeah.
And the tree board's been around since like 2006 or whatever. So it's like, what are we doing?
Well, it turns out it costs a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
That's what it came down to.
it should have been thought about whenever they
Said
made
that
it
was our
forward.
job.
Yeah, that's your job, but you have $0.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent.
yeah.
So,
And
but
everything still
we're
has to be
getting there.
approved by city council, which is fine. And most of the other cities I've talked to, like whenever they have to turn all their stuff in, it gets approved by city council. So, and like some of them, with her coming in asking about getting some trees removed, some cities actually have it to where you can go online and request trees to be removed. And then the tree board can kind of give the final say. So if it's like some historic tree or something, they'll be like, no, don't cut that. Now, some of the cities also have like an arborist like staff, so I'm sure that makes it a little bit easier. But that is, in other cities, that is what their tree board does, is where it's a little bit more involved as far as like what can be planted,
Legislative.
what can't be planted. And you kind of, I'm sure there's still some loopholes around that though, but.
Yeah. There's lots of room for growth and progress to move forward. I think this is a good starting point, so, yeah. All right. You ready? Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Excellent, 5:39.
Thank you for having me as a guest.
Thank you for
No
coming.
problem. Thank you very much. Let's
That's
see.
my email.
Go ahead and get these.